All right, so she done told me I'm too flashy. I'm too friendly. She don't know about me being on social media. Now that's the kicker, cause like that's my thing. Then she's like, look, and it's just one more final thing, and you would be perfect. We would be perfect for each other. You cannot lose any weight, none. You can't lose an ounce. If I fell in love with a fat boy, I want a fat boy for the rest of my life. I don't want you to lose any weight. And I'm just like, I don't know why and how I even got to this village. Like, I'm like, how did I get to this destination where Draymond Green is telling me that I need to change all these things for us to be together, and we not even together? We had a lot of compatibility, like over the phone, like talking, same interest. And I like how she handles me. But it's like this side of her I had never seen. So all of this stuff she was doing like at the event, I had never seen this side of her. So I don't know if she maybe thought this all out and was like, okay, I'm gonna tell him all this when I finally meet him. I don't know. All I know is that's what she dumped on me. And so we doing the event, you know, everybody's having a good time. It's a little speed dating situation. So they start going through my questions and stuff like that, and everybody laughing because the questions is funny, but they deep and they conversation starters. Once again, if you want to get a copy of the list, click the link in my description and you can get one today. Help support the channel. At this point, I'm a little confused, bothered. So I see my other homegirl that's down there. And so I pull her coattails and I'm like, hey, have you talked to so-and-so, you know, about me? And she like, yeah, she talk about you all the time. I thought y'all was like rolling, like you was on board. And I was like, look, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see her until today. And I'm a little bothered. And she like, what you mean? And I'm like, what you mean? And she like, I don't understand. What's going on? I was like, you don't notice anything a little strange or off-putting? And she's like, nah. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, let me ask you this question. I'm just going to keep it 100. I just met her in person for the first time. Like, was she a man at one point and then she became a woman? And she like, no, why would you say that? And I'm like, cause she looked like Draymond Green. And she like, no, she do not. And I'm like, fam, she literally led the Golden State Warriors to a championship by playing excellent defense and was then named Defensive Player of the Year. She is Draymond Green. And so my friend like, look, Tom, I don't know what you're talking about, man. She is pretty. She get a whole bunch of dudes. Like, everybody be on her. And I don't know what you're talking about. So at this point, I'm like, am I in the Twilight Zone? So I go over to the bar. I see a couple dudes just standing there. And I'm like, hey man, who y'all here with? You know what I'm saying? And dude like, nah, we just came out for the little speed dating situation. It's a few in here tonight, baby. It's a few stars in here. And I was like, oh yes, there are a few stars. Hey, this star over here, what do you think of the galaxy this star is from? And she's like, oh, the girl with the fat ass? Oh shit, man, we've been over here looking at her the whole night. I'm like, y'all niggas from Atlanta? Like, what is going on? Now, y'all probably watching this video and y'all like, Tom, I want to see a picture. I'm not going to do that. But when I tell y'all is if I took Draymond Green to the best makeup artist in the world and made him into a woman, he would still have Draymond Green features. Okay? He would have that forehead, them cheekbones, them soup cooler lips, you know what I'm saying? And that pesky hairline. He would still be Draymond Green, if you will. So I could tell she was contoured up and all that stuff, but she just looked like a man to me. And maybe it was just me. I asked some more guys. They said, you know, oh yeah, you know, I hit. But then it's a lot of dudes that, you know what I'm saying? Eddie Winslow. It's a lot of Eddie Winslows out here. Y'all know? So I'm thinking I'm wrong. I dial it back. I remember our conversations on the phone. I fall back into our compatibility. And so I'm like, okay, maybe this is just me. I just need to spend some more time around her, see how things are going. Okay? So I'm in town for the weekend for this event. So the event ends. I take her home. She asked me to come up. I'm like, no, sir. No, I'm just playing. I'm like, no, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the room. Let's link up tomorrow. And so I go back to the room. She calls me that night. We have a pretty good conversation. Like, that's the thing. Like, we had really good conversations. It's just, I think my initial unattraction to her versus her immediate love, fatal attraction to me, I think that might have been overwhelming. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I was just a little off my game that night. I don't know. So I went home, went back to the room, I slept on it. And I was like, all right, let me reconfigure for the next day. So the next day, we went and got lunch. She showed me a few places and she's like, hey, are you hungry? My aunt, she cooked. And I'm like, I mean, I can eat. And so she like, okay, cool. Let's stop over my aunt's house real quick and grab a plate. So I'm like, okay. So we go over her aunt's house. Okay. This is where, and like I had heard of this happening to other guys, but it never had happened to me. And so I feel like right now in the moment of me telling y'all this story, I feel how embarrassed I felt and like crazy the situation was when we got to her aunt's house. Why did she take me to a family get together? And her whole family was there. And she started introducing me as her boo in front of everybody. I was still teetering on the fact that this might be a trans woman. And now I might be bi. Like, I don't even know what's happening right now. She, you know, hey, Auntie Carol, this is him. Say hi, Tom. Her whole family introducing me, you know, we got next on the space table. I just met her not even 24 hours ago. And the thing is, y'all probably like, Tom, and then y'all gonna say the same thing y'all always say in the comments. Where do you find these crazy women? And I keep trying to tell y'all, everybody is crazy in some form or fashion. It's just that when you outside of it, when you listening to me tell the story, she sound real crazy. But when I go on a date with you, they're going to be watching the story saying the same thing about you. Y'all be like, Tom, you just pick bad. I'm not even going to argue with that no more. I might pick bad. But the thing is, it's like anytime you pick, you take the chance on a person in a situation. And what is normal to one person just isn't normal to another person. It's the same thing with common sense. What I consider common ain't common sense to everybody. You do not take somebody to a family get together and you have just met them. It was borderline a family reunion. They had on t-shirts and matching colors. Like the whole thing was all black and red. I thought I was at a blood function.